Hi there, it's Megan from theflightattendantlife.com, and I am the careers editor here to talk to you today about the phone interview portion of the flight attendant interview process. So my first tip for the phone interview portion is to, as soon as you hit submit on a flight attendant application, you better start preparing your interview question answers. Because you never know when you're going to get that phone call. It could be the very next day or a month from when you hit submit on that application for a phone interview. And chances are when you get a missed call from an unfamiliar number, it might be that airline requesting a phone interview. And typically you only have about, I would say, 24 hours to return that phone call, so you better be prepared. Tip number 2 for the phone interview portion is to clean yourself up. Even though it's a phone interview, and this might sound a little crazy, but I have found that taking a shower and getting dressed does wonders for your attitude. Feeling refreshed can make a big difference in how you come across over the phone. So go ahead and clean yourself up for this phone interview. Third tip, very, very, very important, is your environment. Whether you live with family or roommates, make sure you let them know what you are about to do so you have absolutely no distractions during your phone interview. Pick a clean atmosphere that you feel comfortable in, and have your notes laid out in front of you. So environment is very important. Choose wisely. And since I already referenced the notes, my fourth tip is, and I don't condone cheating, but in this instance, go ahead and cheat. Because it's probably very early on in the interview process, you might not have all your answers completely memorized. So go ahead and lay your notes out in front of you to quickly reference them if you need to during the interview. Of course, don't sound rehearsed and don't be shuffling through your papers trying to find an answer desperately to a question that the interviewer may or may not have asked you, but have them out as a little backup. They might make you feel a little better. Take advantage of the lack of visibility. My fifth tip, very important as well, is to smile. This also might sound crazy because of the lack of visibility, but being enthusiastic, it can come across over the phone, and I feel like smiling does change your tone of voice, and you only have a very short period of time with this interviewer on the phone, so make sure you smile. It'll come across in your voice and it'll make a big difference in your interview. My sixth tip is to do not treat this phone interview as anything less than the real thing. Even though it might just be a 15-minute phone call, it does determine if you do move on to the next round in the interview process. So treat it like the real thing, because it is the real thing. The minute you send in your application is when you should start preparing and memorize your answers to the STAR questions, which STAR questions I'll go over in another video. So the next thing I want to recommend to you is to keep the 3 C's in mind. The first C is concision. Phone interviews are short. They are much shorter than the face-to-face or the video portion, so you have much less time to make a good impression. Be precise and clear with your answers. Second C, concentration. Please stay focused. Do not be distracted by anything. If you have a dog, kick your dog out of the room. Don't have a baby screaming in the background. Don't let anybody walk in through the door. Don't have the TV on. Stay concentrated on your phone interview and on the interviewer and what they're saying. Soak it all in. Third C is courtesy. If you are a flight attendant hopeful, this is very important in your future career, is using please and thank yous and being professional and polite. Please and thank you can go a long way. This is something you learn very early on in life, so use it now. It's very important to come across professional and polite. And last but not least, my most important tip is to stay present during the phone interview. Use your active listening skills that you, again, learned very early on in life. They're extremely important during the phone interview. I know I don't really personally like talking to silence, and I'm sure your phone interviewer doesn't either. So my little thing to do is I like to interject listening sounds that says mm-hmm or yes, but don't be over dramatic with it. Just be reassuring to the interviewer that you are still present in that conversation. Okay, so those are my tips for the phone interview portion of the flight attendant interview process. Follow along at theflightattendantlife.com. Follow Kara on Instagram at the FA Life, and follow me at Fly with Megan. Good luck!